everybody. This is Melina from How's Your Mental Health with Melina and Beth, and we have.
I'm Beth.
I hope you all are doing well today. How you doing, Beth?
I'm doing good. I've been kicked back watching let me see, what year is it? The 18th season of Grey's Anatomy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'd watched all the others, so it's time to catch up.
Mm.
It's been entertaining.
Yeah, I can only imagine. There's so much into with Grey's Anatomy. I used to watch ER when that first came on, but it turned into too much of a soap opera, so I had stopped, and I never got into Grey's Anatomy. So.
Well, I didn't until a friend talked me into it, and I started watching it. It's like, oh crap, this is good. So, there we have it.
Well.
So, what do you think of the new purple background that you put on there and the new yellow?
I think it stands out a little bit.
It does. It's a little different.
Yeah, and of course, if they've been watching, they know my color is purple anyway. So,
Hey.
but today's topic is taking care of your physical health is just as important as taking care of your mental health. And I'll be speaking from experience on that.
Yeah, I see you've been laying down a little bit. Your hair's sticking up there.
No, I'm not laying down, but I took a shower or bubble bath last night, and I didn't comb it before I went to bed, so it's kind of sticking up all over the place.
Mine's just sticking up all over the place because that's the way I did it.
Well, see, I ain't got to do it that way. It just does it. But we're going to jump right in. First of all, I'd like to say that we always talk about the importance of our mental health, and it is important, but we have to stress that our physical health is important as well, because the two go hand in hand. If you're not feeling good physically, you're not going to feel good mentally. If you're not going to feel good mentally, you're not going to feel good physically. So you have to keep them together.
This is true.
So let me do this.
And we're saying that because Miss Melina ignored her own body this past week.
Lord, did I ever.
And developed a urinary tract infection. And ended up going to urgent care, which ended up an ambulance ride to the emergency care facility. Joey pants on fire.
I wait until I got dehydrated, so. But
I told her, drink liquids constantly.
I did. It wasn't my fault they wouldn't stay down. I mean, if I had the choice, they would be, But this here is just stating what I had just said. Mental health is just as important as physical health, but you can also reverse it. Physical health is just as important as mental health, and I mean, I just can't stress that enough, because one correlates with the other. I mean, you cannot have just the physical health. I mean, you've got to have the mental health to go along with it. You can't be just mentally healthy. You have to have the physical health in order to go along with it. I mean, they go together. You can't separate them. So, and let's see what my next one will be. And this here, although it's tiny, I tried to make it big, but it wouldn't let me. It's a cliff that has on one side physical health, on the other side mental health, and in the middle, in like the dip of the cliff, it has closing the gap, and you have two arrows that are pointing toward mental and physical health. So you got to close that gap between the two. And in my own experience, as especially of this last week, if I had taken the advice of one of my mental health workers, one of the nurses, she had told me to go sooner to urgent care than what I did, I might not have wound up in the ER with with needing fluids. So I have to remember to take care of myself physically as well as mentally. because I'm pretty decent in doing my mental, but physically I'm not so decent on. So that's something I have to work on. So you have anything, Beth?
Nope, I'm just agreeing.
You're just agreeing?
I'm just agreeing.
And this here really makes sense. Taking care of your mental and physical health is just as important as any career move or responsibility. If you want to make that career move, if you want to, say, if you're a CEO in a bank somewhere and you want to be, I don't know, is a vice president higher than a CEO? I don't know. But you have to be physically stable in order to do that job. But you also have to be mentally stable to do that job. And I'm going to use Beth as an example. With her job, if she's not mentally stable, she can't do it to the full extent of her ability. And if she's not feeling well physically, then she can't do it to the fullness of her ability. I mean, it just goes for anybody. A mom can't be a mom to the best of their ability if they're not feeling good. And it don't
Well,
matter if it's physical or mental.
and you always have to remember too, you got to cut yourself a break because some days you just have brain fart moments where because you're not feeling good or whatever else, you miss stuff. You miss things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just a fact of life. It's just a
Oh,
fact of
yeah.
life. Nobody's perfect.
I can be feeling very, very well and very much fit to me anyway, but I can still have my brain farts. So, oh yeah, you have to be able to take your inadequacies along with everything else. And I think we just did that one. And the last one is, and I think this here would be a good last clip to be on, and that's the ultimate goal of the blessed life is physical health and mental serenity. And I think that would be a nice goal to have. What about you?
I'm rereading that in my brain.
Okay.
The ultimate goal of the blessed life is physical health and mental serenity. I do believe that that is good. That's
Mm-hmm.
an excellent saying. It's difficult sometimes with both.
Sometimes try
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah, it's difficult.
For me, it seems like I can get my mental health good and something goes wrong with my physical health, or my physical health is good and something goes wrong with my mental. It's like my
It's
body
always
just won't.
it never coordinates
No,
together.
no. So, but this is actually all I have. If you have anything else,
Um, well, I mentioned a moment ago we weren't going to show it because it might be a hoax, but I think we ought to show it just in
I do
case it's
too.
not a
I
hoax.
do too.
So let me pull this up and
And this here doesn't really have anything to do with our topic. It's just something that we ran across and we thought that it would be good to get the word out. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, there it goes. There it is. Okay. All right. Can't hear it.
all right, hold on.
But I definitely want
Here
you
we
to pay
go.
attention to this one.
Let me back it up.
I don't care if you agree with a lot of my videos or not, or if you pay attention to them, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But I definitely want you to pay attention to this one. My daughter works late. She gets off at 3 in the morning in a decent sized city. We live in the middle of nowhere out in the country. So we're not accustomed to seeing stuff like this. But like I said, she works in a big city. She gets off at 3 in the morning. drives an hour and 15 minutes to get home. This is the third morning in a row I found one of these on her car in the exact same spot, back passenger door. I didn't know what it was. I just kept cutting it off. This morning, when I found it, I went in there and I asked her, I said, what's the deal with the zip tie being on your back passenger handle every morning? For the past 3 mornings, I've cut it off. She said, Dad, I don't know what in the world you're talking about. She said, I didn't know there was a zip tie on there. I said, yeah, there's a zip tie. So I was talking to my brother just a few minutes ago, and I told him, I said, man, 3 mornings in a row, I found a zip tie on I ain't going to say her name, but my daughter's back passenger door handle. Black zip tie. It's loose, but it's on there. And he works in law enforcement. He's been in law enforcement his whole life. And you could tell when I mentioned that, he got extremely silent. And he said, what'd you just say? And I told him, and he was like, listen, man, cut that off right now. I said, I have been cutting them off. There's like sex traffickers and people that basically steal women, vulnerable women, put them on a car somewhere where it's not easily noticeable for them, but other people who actually do the stealing knows exactly what that means. So basically what this is, you all, is this is a tag. And this alerts anyone who's part of the organization, I'll call it, of sex trafficking or kidnappers, abductors. Let them know that that person is vulnerable, they are by themselves, and they're an easy target. So if you've got teenage kids, girls that are out late at night, that are driving, check their car every morning. Look for a black zip tie or anything that stands out, and immediately remove it. Looks like my daughter is a target, so she will be prepared. I promise you that.
Yeah, when I got that today, I thought, that's some good information to share
I've been
along
telling
with
y'all
some
to keep
people.
your six covered.
Yeah, we don't know how accurate it is, but if there's any truth at all to it, please heed it.
Yeah, definitely.
We can't be too careful anymore. Not in today's society.
No, people are crazy these days. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff going on. They're snatching up kids. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Just got to keep a lookout and
For all the
observe.
loved ones.
Be very observant of your surroundings.
So, but
like we need something else adding to our mental stress.
but because, as Beth said, I am not 100%. It will be a short video, but I did want to stress the importance of making sure your physical and mental health go hand in hand.
Yeah, and kind of be aware of when you're not feeling well. I am the last person to ever go to the doctor because I just will not go unless I have to go. But sometimes you got to break over.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you break over and you get the physical aspects taken care of, it helps with your mental aspects.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to remember that. So.
Well, I hope y'all have a good week. It took me a while to get last week's video uploaded. I kept having some difficult times. I will keep at it this week until I get it done. So I hope y'all watch and comment and email me if you'd like. And please take care of yourself.
Be good to you.